Have you ever wondered why ancient civilizations considered sleep a sacred gateway to other dimensions? While your body rests, your consciousness doesn't simply shut down, it transcends. This forbidden knowledge, carefully guarded by mystic traditions for millennia, reveals an astonishing truth. Sleep isn't merely a biological function, but a portal to realms beyond our waking comprehension. The boundary between our mundane reality and extraordinary dimensions grows thin when we close our eyes, opening doorways to experiences most people never consciously remember or understand. Throughout history, from Egyptian dream temples to Tibetan sleep yogas, advanced spiritual practitioners have utilized this twilight state to access universal knowledge, heal their bodies, and communicate across vast distances. These weren't merely superstitious practices, but sophisticated technologies of consciousness developed through generations of experimentation. Modern science is only beginning to catch up, with neuroscientists documenting brainwave patterns during deep sleep that match those of profound meditative states achieved by lifelong practitioners. The evidence has always been there, hidden in plain sight within our nightly journeys. What if I told you that during sleep your consciousness doesn't disappear, but expands beyond the limitations of physical form? This isn't speculative fantasy, but the convergence point where quantum physics meets neuroscience and ancient wisdom traditions. Your brain undergoes remarkable transformations during sleep cycles, particularly during REM and deep sleep phases, when the default mode network temporarily deactivates. This network, responsible for your sense of separate self, momentarily dissolves, allowing consciousness to experience itself beyond individual identity. This same phenomenon occurs in deep meditation, psychedelic experiences, and near-death states, suggesting a universal mechanism for transcendent awareness. The most profound revelations often come from examining the ordinary with extraordinary attention. Sleep, something we spend roughly a third of our lives doing, contains untapped potential for transformation that most people completely overlook. Instead of passively experiencing sleep, imagine consciously directing this powerful state to enhance creativity, solve problems, access intuitive wisdom, and even connect with collective fields of information. The techniques for doing so have been preserved in esoteric teachings worldwide, and tonight, you can begin applying them to revolutionize your relationship with the nocturnal third of your existence. Research from leading sleep laboratories at Stanford, Oxford, and the Max Planck Institute has documented inexplicable phenomena that challenge our materialistic understanding of consciousness. During deep delta wave sleep, subjects demonstrate heightened extrasensory perception, precognitive abilities, and information access that transcends conventional explanations. In controlled studies, sleeping participants have correctly identified random targets in distant locations, received complex information they couldn't possibly know through ordinary means, and demonstrated significant increases in creative problem-solving abilities upon waking. These findings, though controversial, suggest consciousness operates beyond the confines of the brain. Dr. Elizabeth Mayer, a respected psychoanalyst and researcher at the University of California, described these phenomena as non-local consciousness, awareness, that exists independently of space-time constraints. Her research, along with groundbreaking work by Dean Radin at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, indicates that during specific sleep phases, our minds tap into quantum field potentials, accessing information through means that defy conventional understanding. The pineal gland, which produces melatonin and regulates sleep cycles, also secretes traces of DMT, dimethyltryptamine, a compound associated with profound visionary experiences. This suggests our brains may be naturally designed to access alternate realities during sleep. What's particularly fascinating is how these scientific discoveries align perfectly with wisdom from ancient traditions. The Tibetan Book of the Dead describes sleep as little death, where consciousness travels through bardos, transitional states, similar to those experienced after physical death. Egyptian hieroglyphics depict sleep temples where initiates would receive divine guidance and healing through sacred dream incubation practices. Indigenous shamanic traditions worldwide describe sleep as journeying to the spirit world to retrieve lost knowledge. The convergence of these varied sources suggests a universal truth about human consciousness that transcends cultural boundaries and historical epochs. Modern sleep research has identified unique brainwave patterns during lucid dreaming, a state where one becomes aware within the dream environment and can consciously direct experiences. These patterns show simultaneous gamma wave activity associated with heightened awareness, overlaid on theta waves, characteristic of dream states, creating a hybrid consciousness previously thought impossible. This revolutionary finding confirms what ancient traditions have claimed. We can develop the ability to maintain conscious awareness while the body sleeps, effectively bridging worlds and accessing dimensions of experience typically hidden from waking awareness. This capability isn't supernatural. It's an inherent human potential waiting to be activated. What if each night when you close your eyes, your consciousness doesn't merely create imaginary scenarios, but actually navigates through parallel dimensions in the multiverse? Quantum physicists like Max Tegmark and David Deutsch propose that infinite parallel realities exist simultaneously, each containing slightly different versions of ourselves and our circumstances. The boundary between these realities becomes permeable during sleep, when our conscious filtering mechanisms relax. Dreams that seem bizarrely realistic, containing detailed information you couldn't possibly know, may actually be glimpses into these alternate timelines, not mere fantasies but windows into what could be, has been, or is happening in parallel streams of existence. Your dream experiences often contain symbolic wisdom and predictive elements that seem to transcend ordinary knowledge. How many times have you dreamed something that later manifested in waking life? Ancient cultures didn't dismiss these as coincidences, but recognized them as evidence of consciousness traveling beyond time's linear constraints. The Aborigines call this the dream time, an eternal dimension where past, present, and future exist simultaneously, accessible during sleep and deep meditative states. Modern physicists describe similar concepts when discussing how quantum fields exist outside conventional temporal limitations. Your consciousness naturally accesses these non-linear dimensions during sleep, bringing back fragments of insight that your waking mind struggles to interpret through rational filters. The most extraordinary aspect of sleep consciousness remains hidden from most people because we're not taught to recognize or develop it. Throughout history, certain mystery schools and esoteric traditions have preserved techniques for maintaining awareness during the sleep transition, allowing initiates to consciously explore these dimensional boundaries. The Egyptian mystery schools called this practice awakening in the dark realm. Tibetan Buddhists developed elaborate dream yoga protocols for retaining consciousness while the body sleeps. These weren't merely spiritual exercises, but practical methodologies for accessing universal fields of information and bringing back actionable intelligence to benefit their communities. These same techniques remain available to anyone willing to practice them with dedication. These traditions understood something modern neuroscience is only beginning to grasp. Consciousness doesn't arise from the brain, but works through it, like television signals through a receiver. When the receiver, your brain, enters sleep mode, consciousness doesn't disappear, but shifts to different frequencies, accessing dimensions normally filtered out during waking awareness. The pineal gland, what Descartes called the seat of the soul, acts as a dimensional gateway, activating during specific sleep phases to facilitate this transition. This isn't mystical speculation, but increasingly supported by research into the quantum properties of neural microtubules, biophoton emissions during sleep, and coherent electromagnetic field fluctuations that align with ancient descriptions of the subtle energy body. If you're finding this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel and comment, "I am awakening my sleep consciousness tonight," to activate your intention and connect with others on this journey. Ancient civilizations worldwide developed sophisticated systems for utilizing sleep states to access heightened awareness and information. The Greeks established dream incubation temples dedicated to Asclepius, where seekers would undergo purification, rituals before sleeping in sacred chambers to receive healing guidance and prophetic visions. These weren't considered supernatural experiences, but natural extensions of consciousness accessible through proper preparation and intention. Archaeological evidence shows these sleep temples operated successfully for over 1,000 years, with detailed records of healings and revelations that transformed countless lives. Similar practices existed in ancient China, where Taoist adepts developed sleep meditation techniques to cultivate life force energy while the body rested. Indigenous cultures worldwide share remarkably similar approaches to navigating sleep. Consciousness. The Senwai people of Malaysia built an entire cultural framework around dream experiences, teaching children from early ages to remember, share, and consciously engage with dream content. Their society showed extraordinary psychological resilience and minimal internal conflict, benefits directly attributed to their sleep consciousness practices. Native American vision quests often involved supervised sleep deprivation followed by profound revelatory dreams that would guide an individual's life purpose. Australian Aborigines undertake walkabouts, where dream navigation through the landscape guides physical journeys upon waking. These diverse traditions all recognize sleep as a technology for accessing wisdom beyond ordinary consciousness. What these traditions share is an understanding that sleep isn't passive, but an active state of consciousness that can be cultivated. They developed specific practices to enhance dream recall, maintain awareness during sleep transitions, and interpret the symbolic language of dream experiences. Unlike modern approaches that often dismiss dreams as random neural firing, these traditions recognized patterns and significance in dream content, developing sophisticated systems for extracting practical guidance. They understood that dreams operate through a symbolic language that bypasses rational limitations, communicating directly with our deepest intuitive faculties. When properly interpreted, this language provides insights unavailable to the analytical mind alone. The most advanced practitioners in these traditions achieved what we might now call lucid consciousness, the ability to maintain continuous awareness through all states of consciousness, including deep sleep. Tibetan dream yogis, after years of training, could perform complex visualizations and transformative practices while their bodies remained in deep sleep. Sufi mystics described states of sleep of the body, wakefulness of the heart, where profound spiritual realizations occurred during sleep. These weren't considered supernatural accomplishments, but natural developments of human potential through dedicated practice. The techniques they developed remain available to us today, offering pathways to expand our conscious experience beyond conventional boundaries and access wisdom that transcends ordinary knowing. Neuroscientific research at leading sleep laboratories has identified unique brainwave signatures during transcendent sleep experiences. When subjects report accessing universal knowledge or experiencing expanded awareness during sleep, researchers observed distinctive patterns of gamma-theta coupling, high-frequency gamma waves associated with conscious processing, superimposed on theta waves, characteristic of dream states. This pattern, previously thought impossible, suggests the brain can sustain conscious awareness while simultaneously experiencing the fluid, boundary-dissolving properties of sleep states. This neurological evidence supports what ancient traditions described. Consciousness can maintain lucidity while the body and ordinary identity awareness are completely relaxed. Perhaps most intriguing are studies documenting verified remote viewing and precognitive experiences during specific sleep phases. Under controlled conditions at the Rhine Research Center and Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory, sleeping subjects have accurately described distant locations, future events, and information unavailable through conventional means. The statistical significance of these findings challenges conventional explanations and suggests consciousness operates beyond space-time limitations during sleep. Similar phenomena occur during deep meditation, supporting the hypothesis that sleep naturally induces states of expanded awareness, typically requiring years of meditative training to achieve while awake. The physiological changes that occur during sleep further support its role as a gateway to expanded consciousness. During deep, slow-wave sleep, cerebral spinal fluid flow increases dramatically, flushing out metabolic waste from the brain while simultaneously delivering neurochemicals that enhance neuroplasticity. This physical cleansing parallels what many traditions describe as energetic purification during sleep. Additionally, the brain's glymphatic system, discovered only recently, becomes highly active during deep sleep, allowing for exchange between cerebral spinal fluid and interstitial fluid surrounding brain cells. This system optimizes conditions for what ancient traditions called downloads of spiritual information, creating an optimal neurological environment for receiving insights from beyond ordinary awareness. What makes these findings revolutionary is how they bridge objective science with subjective experience, offering verifiable evidence for phenomena previously dismissed as imagination or coincidence. Sleep researcher Dr. Ruben Nyman describes sleep as a forgotten spiritual practice that naturally induces states similar to those sought by contemplative traditions worldwide. The electromagnetic field of the heart, which generates the body's strongest electromagnetic signal, shifts into a more coherent pattern during deep sleep, potentially facilitating what HeartMath researchers call non-local intuition, access to information beyond conventional sensory limitations. These discoveries suggest that far from being an unconscious state, sleep may represent our most natural access point to expanded dimensions of awareness. Dreams communicate through a symbolic language that transcends ordinary linguistic constraints, accessing deeper layers of meaning than verbal communication allows. This symbolic language isn't random, but follows identifiable patterns that connect to universal archetypes embedded in the collective unconscious. Carl Jung documented remarkable similarities in dream symbols across cultures and historical periods, suggesting an innate symbolic language hardwired into human consciousness. Learning to interpret this language is like acquiring fluency in your mind's native tongue. It reveals messages your deeper self has been sending that your waking mind couldn't comprehend through rational analysis alone. The symbolic nature of dream communication serves a profound purpose. It bypasses the critical, analytical functions of the left hemisphere, allowing direct communication with the more intuitive, holistic right hemisphere and deeper limbic structures. This explains why dreams often communicate through emotion, sensation, and imagery rather than linear narratives. When you experience a powerful dream that stays with you upon waking, your consciousness has received information through multiple channels simultaneously: emotional, visual, kinesthetic, creating an integrated understanding that transcends what words alone could convey. This multidimensional communication delivers complex insights instantaneously, explaining why dream revelations can transform understanding in ways that logical analysis cannot. What makes dream language particularly powerful is its personalized nature, combined with universal elements. Your subconscious mind customizes archetypal symbols according to your unique experiences and associations, creating a perfectly tailored communication system. Water might represent emotional depths for everyone, but the specific form it takes, ocean, river, or rain, carries personalized significance based on your history with these elements. This personalization explains why dream interpretation books often fall short. While they may identify universal symbols, they cannot account for your personal associations. The most valuable insights come from recognizing patterns in your own dream language over time, developing an intimate understanding of how your consciousness communicates with itself across different states of awareness. The practical application of dream language proficiency extends far beyond psychological insight. It becomes a tool for conscious creation and problem solving. Historical innovations from scientific breakthroughs to artistic masterpieces have emerged from dream states. Mendeleev conceived the periodic table, Einstein visualized relativity principles, and countless artists, writers, and musicians received complete works while dreaming. These weren't random inspirations, but examples of consciousness accessing information beyond waking limitations. By developing your ability to recall, record, and work with dream content, You establish a direct communication channel with expanded dimensions of your consciousness, accessing wisdom and creative insights unavailable to the analytical mind alone. The hypnagogic state, that mysterious threshold between wakefulness and sleep, represents one of consciousness' most powerful transition zones. As you drift towards sleep, brain waves shift from beta to alpha and theta frequencies, creating a unique neurological window where consciousness can remain aware while accessing deeper dimensions typically hidden during full wakefulness. Ancient traditions worldwide recognize this state's special properties, developing specific practices to maintain awareness during this transition. The Taoists called it sitting and forgetting, yogis named it yoga nidra, yogic sleep, and Western esoteric traditions referenced it as the hypnagogic gateway. Modern researchers have documented extraordinary pi phenomena, creative insights, and access to non-local information occurring specifically during this transitional state. What makes this threshold state so powerful is its unique combination of relaxed physical awareness and fluid consciousness. As the body enters sleep paralysis, a natural mechanism preventing physical movement during dreams, consciousness can detach from sensory input while maintaining awareness, essentially experiencing the mind beyond physical limitations. During this phase, the default mode network, responsible for self-referential thinking, temporarily deactivates while other brain regions maintain activity, creating a neurological state perfect for experiencing consciousness beyond the individual self. Many spontaneous out-of-body experiences, remote viewing incidents, and contacts with non-physical consciousness occur during this precise window, suggesting it serves as a natural access point to expanded awareness. Learning to navigate this twilight zone consciously unlocks remarkable capabilities. Robert Monroe, founder of the Monroe Institute, developed specific sound technologies to maintain awareness during this transition, documenting extraordinary journeys of consciousness in his books and research programs. Stanford University's sleep research confirmed that individuals trained to maintain awareness during this phase demonstrate increased problem-solving abilities, creative insights, and access to information transcending ordinary knowledge. Ancient sleep temples utilize this state through specific breathing patterns, mantras, and mental visualizations designed to maintain conscious awareness while the body entered sleep, allowing initiates to receive healing guidance and prophetic visions while fully lucid. The practical applications of mastering this threshold state extend beyond spiritual exploration to enhancing creativity, accelerating learning, and accessing intuitive knowledge. Salvador Dali famously utilized a self-developed technique involving sitting upright while holding a key over a metal plate. As he drifted into the hypnagogic state, his hand would relax, dropping the key and waking him just as powerful surrealistic images flooded his awareness. Thomas Edison used a similar approach with steel balls, capturing innovative ideas at the edge of sleep. Modern sleep researchers have documented accelerated language learning, enhanced musical composition, and mathematical problem-solving occurring during this state. By developing your ability to navigate this powerful threshold consciously, you transform sleep's entrance from an unconscious slide into a purposeful journey into expanded dimensions of awareness. Perhaps the most extraordinary aspect of sleep consciousness is its capacity to access collective information fields that transcend individual experience. Renowned psychiatrist Carl Jung documented numerous cases of patients sharing dream symbols and experiences without prior contact, leading to his theory of the collective unconscious, a shared field of archetypal information accessible during specific states of consciousness, particularly sleep. Modern research in consciousness studies has identified what scientists call non-local consciousness, awareness that operates beyond space-time constraints, accessing information independently of physical proximity or temporal boundaries. During sleep, particularly deep delta wave states, our consciousness naturally tunes into these collective information fields, explaining seemingly impossible phenomena like shared dreams, accessing unknown information, and precognitive glimpses of future events. Indigenous cultures worldwide have long recognized and utilized this collective aspect of dream consciousness. Australian Aborigines describe the dream time, a dimension accessible during sleep where past, present, and future coexist, and information can be shared across vast distances. Native American dream councils brought together individuals to share dream content for community guidance, recognizing patterns that transcended individual experience. The Senoi people of Malaysia built their entire social structure around shared dream experiences, using collective dream wisdom to guide community decisions. These weren't primitive superstitions, but sophisticated technologies for accessing shared information fields beyond individual perception. Technologies that modern research increasingly validates through controlled studies of shared dream experiences, remote viewing during sleep, and collective problem-solving occurring in sleep states. What makes these collective aspects of sleep consciousness particularly relevant today is their potential for collaborative problem-solving and innovation. Princeton's Global Consciousness Project has documented significant correlations between collective emotional events and random number generators worldwide, suggesting consciousness operates as a field phenomenon that can be measured through physical effects. During sleep, our individual consciousness naturally merges with these larger fields, accessing collective wisdom beyond personal knowledge. Historical breakthroughs from scientific discoveries to artistic movements have often emerged simultaneously in multiple locations, suggesting access to shared information fields. By developing awareness of sleep's collective dimensions, you open yourself to wisdom beyond individual limitation, potentially accessing solutions to personal and collective challenges from this expanded awareness. The implications of this collective aspect extend beyond individual benefits to potential planetary transformation. As more individuals develop conscious awareness of these shared dream dimensions, opportunities emerge for collaborative healing, innovation, and evolution of human consciousness itself. Indigenous elders from diverse traditions speak of dream councils, where solutions to current global challenges can be accessed and implemented. Leading-edge researchers in consciousness studies suggest that purposeful engagement with collective dream fields could catalyze evolutionary leaps in human awareness. Rather than abstract theory, this represents a practical invitation to participate consciously in the collective evolution of consciousness through intentional engagement with sleep states. By recognizing sleep not as unconscious rest, but as active participation in the collective field of consciousness, you transform your nightly journey into a contribution to humanity's awakening. Developing mastery of sleep consciousness requires systematic practice rather than passive hope for spontaneous experiences. Ancient traditions worldwide developed specific protocols for this development, which modern sleep research now validates through measurable neurological changes. The journey begins with dream recall, training your awareness to build bridges between sleep and waking consciousness. Keep a journal beside your bed and immediately record dreams upon waking, without moving position if possible. This simple practice dramatically increases recall over time, strengthening neural pathways between consciousness states. Additionally, set clear intentions before sleep, specifically stating your desire to remember dreams and maintain awareness during transitions. This programmatic approach triggers what neuroscientists call prospective memory, activating brain regions responsible for carrying awareness across state changes. As recall strengthens, the next phase involves developing dream recognition, the ability to recognize the dream state while experiencing it. The most effective technique involves regular reality checks during waking hours, cultivating the habit of questioning whether you're dreaming or awake. Simple practices like attempting to push your finger through your palm, checking digital clocks twice, numbers typically change in dreams, or looking at text, looking away and looking back. Text usually shifts in dream states. Train your consciousness to perform these same checks during dreams. When these habits transfer to the dream state, they trigger lucidity, the awareness that you're dreaming while dreaming. Research at Germany's Neurological Laboratory in Frankfurt shows these practices significantly increase lucid dream frequency within 2 to 8 weeks of consistent application, verifiable through distinctive brainwave patterns that combine waking gamma activity with dream state theta waves. As lucidity develops, the practice expands to maintaining awareness during deep sleep, what ancient traditions called dreamless sleep yoga. This advanced stage involves specific breathing patterns, visualization practices, and mental anchors that allow consciousness to remain aware even as the body enters deep delta wave sleep. Tibetan Buddhist practices for this development include heart center concentration, where awareness is fixed at the heart chakra during sleep transitions. Taoist traditions teach embryonic breathing patterns that maintain subtle awareness throughout sleep cycles. Modern research validates these approaches through studies documenting continued awareness during deep sleep states, measurable through distinctive brainwave patterns previously thought impossible. Through consistent practice, this capacity develops naturally, allowing consciousness to remain lucid throughout all sleep phases.